继续回到2019炉石战记 HCT 世界总决赛第3天的赛程，我是主持人安娜丽。Welcome back to 2019 HCT World Championship Day 3。是的，刚刚呢，我们看到了在 C 组的决定赛的时候，已经看到了 Hunter Ace 是让2追3拿到了我们的8强的资格。那紧接着就是我们今天的最后一场比赛，也是我们最后一张可以晋级8强的门票。而接下来我们的 D 组即将出场的就是我们的地主选手罗杰以及 Viper。那面对呢一路稳扎稳打的选手 Viper， 我们的地主选手罗杰如果不想要回到北投去卖香肠的话，就只能一路过关斩将，踩着敌人的尸体继续往上面爬。所以呢，待会呢也请大家以最热烈的欢呼声来欢迎我们的选手出场。The next match is going to be the last match of Day 3, and the match is going to be the decider match of Group D. Who is going to be the winner? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everyone put your hands up and let's welcome our hometown favorite, Roger and Viper! 好了，再次掌声欢迎我们的选手罗杰以及 Viper! And gentlemen, please come to the center of the stage. 来，我们到中间握个手。Please shake your hands. 再一次掌声给我们的罗杰加油一下。Please take a seat. 好的，我们最后一场比赛马上就要开始了。现在把我们的画面交给主播赛评。Let's send it over to our casters.
Welcome everyone to the concluding match of Elimination Day here at the 2019 Hearthstone World Championships. Frode and Brian Kibler here to close out day number 3. And what an interesting one it is, considering that hometown hero Roger is playing with all the hopes and dreams remaining for players in Taiwan.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys hear the roar in the crowd as Roger was announced and walked out into the stage there, but it is very clear who this hometown crowd is rooting for. And Roger's got his work cut out for him, though, because his entire lineup is built to beat Warriors. We saw how powerful it was in his match against Tyler in the opening day. We saw how it nearly dismantled Bloody Face yesterday. But Viper, he doesn't even have a Warrior deck. So the entire strategy that Roger has used to build his lineup is kind of thrown out the window here.
Yep, and you know, Roger has that very wacky lineup like you're talking about. He has Bomb Warrior, Summoner Mage, and Control Paladin remaining. Viper has that Miracle Rogue, Mid-Range Hunter, and Summoner Mage. This is going to be tricky, to say the least, here for Roger. Although Bomb Warrior is it's definitely gotten some ups and downs throughout the day. None other than highlighted by Killing All Day series, where he was playing against Language Hackers. Very exciting. That being said, this is going to be a hard matchup. The math kind of favors Viper dramatically, over 60% favored. And that's before Viper's trying to curtail his decks to beat things like Warrior. Right. So, I think Roger needs to pull out a miracle in order to win this series here, Kibler.
And Viper's one with Miracle Rogue, so.
Right, and things are already postured against him. We'll start things off with, I think, Roger's favorite deck. It's the Immortal Paladin, featuring Nozari, the Dragon.
Yeah, this deck is one that, as we saw yesterday, can go the distance against pretty much anything. The combination of Da Undertaker and Immortal Prelate just keeps giving you additional death rattles, and the Immortal Prelate ability gives Da Undertaker all the death rattles that it previously had once it gets shuffled into your deck. So, as you can see, sometimes it can just give you 6 things when it dies, which is pretty insane. However, what it needs for this deck to be functional is time. And Viper's decks give him a lot less time than Control Warrior, as we've seen it against before.
Yeah, and the hard thing is actually is this Paladin deck. Mm-hmm. The other decks from Roger, they're perfectly fine in the field. It's the Paladin that's very questionable, to say the least. So he's going to need some help if he's going to take down a mid-range Hunter, which has a lot of flexibility, can play all kinds of style. Aggressive, just regular mid-range, or even slow combos.
It's kind of funny. Roger with the 2 copies of Crystology in his hand at this point. We talked to him before the event, and I asked him, so I'm a little curious why you chose to play 2 copies of Crystology, because your deck has 4 total 1-attack minions in it, and if you ever draw one of them, your second Crystology only gets 1 thing, and if you draw more of them, it's just dead. And he was sort of talking through. He's like, yeah, maybe it should just be one Crystology.
Just don't draw it.
Pain.
Just don't draw any more time.
He's got both of them here, though. I mean, to be fair, in most matchups where the deck goes long, you have just such power that you don't necessarily need more from the Crystology. But if you are playing against a deck, say like Midrange Hunter, and you have that sort of mid-game place where you're just missing a possible play, it can be problematic.
Yes. Viper, I think, will be trying to curve out and pressure the Paladin's life total. This Paladin does not have access to things like Consecration, so picking apart these 1/1s are going to be
He has no way to kill anything, basically. The deck kills things with True Silver Champion and minions.
taunts.
Yeah, you throw stuff in the way. That's the basic plan of the deck for Roger. He does have Blessing of Kings. He has Sound the Bells, some buff effects. But he's basically trying to build a big mech. And as the draw of Deadly Shot here for Viper is going to make any kind of just individual big mech in the way not a big problem.
Right.
And Viper knows there's no Consecration on the other side. There's no Wild Pyromancer on the other side. There is nothing that Roger can do to stop his minions other than putting his own minions in the way.
Well, Roger does have the Bronze Gatekeeper this turn, but I think what he's really afraid of is Scavenging Hyena. How can he answer that? And the reality is he can't. If he plays Crystology, he'll end up drawing an Acolyte of Pain and one other minion.
Crystal Smith Kangor.
Crystal Smith Kangor, you're right. Yep. So he would have to utilize the coin or just dump one of the cards. Or just burn a card.
Yeah. And often with this deck, I actually played a bit with this deck when the deck was revealed because I'm like, what's going on here?
Right.
This is the deck that I actually put the most sort of games into preparing to cast the event.
Of course you did.
And it's just sweet, man.
Gamers can be like, I can play this, or I could get more reps in with Control Warrior. Well, you made the job pretty easy here.
But one of the big things about this, you rarely want to just play kind of a naked Bronze Gatekeeper in this sort of situation because it's important you're able to enable your other mechs into defensive tools, like specifically Mechano Egg. For instance, if Roger next turn coins up Mechano Egg, then he plays Bronze Gatekeeper on it. And this, by the way, to sort of interrupt my point, Roger choosing to play around the possibility of Scavenging Hyena by not actually deploying any minions that Viper can attack into.
Right.
That's why he did not use his hero power.
Yep.
But as I was saying, if he coins out the Mechano Egg next turn, he can then suit it up with the Bronze Gatekeeper, and then, worst case scenario, he gets Deadly Shot, and at least he has an 8/8. And he does have Ziliax, and he also has Lightforged Blessing in his deck. You can win the sort of race against aggressive decks just by slapping Lifesteal on giant monsters sometimes.
Right. The Robosaur that comes out of the Mechano Egg is a good example if you're able to utilize that. Roger has the Coin Mechano Egg. It's a 0-attack minion that might also complicate Viper's situation because he wants to have minions with attack, and that egg is also threatening itself if you attach other buffs to it, like that Bronze Gatekeeper, or even just the War Gear.
Viper can just kind of go wide here, though. His Timberwolf. You can just play Timberwolf, Shimmerfly, Springpaw, and just play a bunch of stuff out. There's no AoE. Yeah, this is what he's going to do. He's saying, all right, you've got nothing. I know you've got nothing. All you can do is put taunts in the way. I've got a Deadly Shot. And next turn, Roger, the best he can do is get out the Mechano Egg that he could, a turn later, suit up with Gatekeeper. He could find, that's Lightforged Blessing, though. So if he does get to that point, maybe he's in a reasonable position. But he is not really looking like he has much time. That's 10 more just from these minions coming into play next turn.
Yeah, I think the true Silver Champion is more than warranted in this spot, which is something that I was thinking about if I'm Roger. If I'm not playing Crystology to draw Crystal Smith Kangor, yes, you're going to overdraw, but at the same time, I might need that healing a lot earlier than you think you do because I just need to survive.
Right. Yeah, True Silver on a 1-drop does take off a lot of damage from the board. It leaves just 5.
Let me think.
5, you're at 21. Still not exactly the best case scenario, but, all these rush effects that Viper has are not getting any benefit. He's just playing essentially vanilla 1/1s.
Yeah.
I mean, he's basically playing Odd Paladin at this point, right? Like Roger is going up against a token-based 1/1s deck that can't really put enough pressure unless they synergize with Rush.
And when I played any kind of Control Paladin against Odd Paladin, I really wanted to draw my Wild Pyromancer, I'll tell you that much. And there's none in Roger's deck.
Wild Pyromancer, Consecration, even just one. Roger was so greedy, he didn't put a single copy of anti-aggro.
It is pretty daunting to win this sort of matchup with as extreme a position that Roger has taken with his lineup.
Yeah.
And here, there's no way for Roger to kill this that isn't Ziliax.
Yeah,
Viper knows, no consecration, nothing.
Whoa!
Is that Ziliax?
Yes, it is.
which is good, but the Ziliax is often pretty important to just have on your big stuff in order to, you know, stay alive later on. Granted, he's got to play it here, or else he's dying, right? I feel like he is in a position where he can't really play a minion. Well, actually, just sort of thinking this through, can he play an egg this turn and then Ziliax the egg next turn?
I think you risk dying to kill
1, 2, 3,
command.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He would definitely die to kill command. Can he beat kill command? Anyway, if he Ziliaxes now,
I think he will survive. I don't know if he'll beat kill command, but he'll survive. He'll have 7 mana, up to 7 mana next turn.
Yeah.
He can revive Ziliax next turn.
one of the key things is that he does have that Lightforge Blessing in his hand. So any big thing that is able to stick, it kind of has the Ziliax effect. We see a shake of the head, sigh from Roger. You know, this is, yep, he's got to do it. Decides, all right, I have to take this out.
Right. He does go back up to 17 life, take out the Tundra Rhino. Viper, I believe, only has 1 Tundra Rhino.
Yes, that is true. But Viper has 2 Scavenging Hyenas in his hand.
Yeah, the double Hyena is so scary. Not to mention that Viper gets 2 spells off these Shimmerflies. If he's able to get direct damage.
Yeah. And this does heal up Roger quite a bit.
Oh, it's not the best spell.
He's going to go ahead and fire off the Vicious Scale Hide, get 1 extra damage in from his attackers here.
Yeah, I like it, squeezing in every single bit.
And those are 2 angry hyenas. And again, Roger's defense is minions. If he plays minions, then Viper attacks little minions into them and kills them with his hyenas. If he doesn't play minions, well, he's dead.
I don't really see really good positions from here for Roger. I don't think there's a way he can get out easily. He has the best play is actually to coin Kangors, but it doesn't really
do anything. He coins Kangors.
I mean, he puts out a Ziliax.
Yeah, he gets a Ziliax, and the Ziliax kills a 1/1. Then 2 other 1/1s attack into it. Then those hyenas each gain 6 attack. Or it just gets deadly shotted.
Oh, the deadly shot, you're right.
Or mark shotted. Pick your poison. Okay.
There's 18 damage showing.
You got nothing.
He has to, oh no, he actually can just trade in with a deadly shot.
Yeah.
So this is actually lethal.
Yeah.
Wow. That's it. Viper is going to crush Roger game number 1 by turn 7. And this is quite possibly the premonition of what's going to be happening for the rest of the series here, because Roger was preparing for control matchups and Viper has mid-range decks.
Yeah, look at those hyenas go. Roger's Paladin just getting chewed up and spit out by the Hunter.
Yeah, that's not good. And Viper does have a couple other decks which the Paladin might be able to squeeze out a win, but it's looking more and more bleak with each passing turn. When I see that Immortal Paladin, I don't feel like it has enough early game to sustain pressure, and that's exactly what Mid-Range Hunter does.
It's not even just early game, right? Because it is a deck that has no equalities. It has a single Aldor. So it struggles with just big things as well, quite frequently.
Yep.
You know, against like Mage, Summoner Mage. It can't kill your minions. So, you know, a Mountain Giant into Conjurer's Calling is usually just game over. It just really, that Paladin deck is so heavily biased toward beating Warrior. Roger decided, I am going to stake my tournament life on beating every Control Warrior opponent I played.
Right.
He had the opportunity, he played against 2 of them.
Yeah.
But Bloody Face was able to squeak out a win in the Warrior Mirror match, and now he is facing Viper, who has understood, hey, people are trying to target Warrior. I'm not going to bring Warrior. And now he's facing against Roger, who had exactly that strategy.
Yes, and I think that Viper is being heavily rewarded for that, and also being able to think even more outside the box with things like his Miracle Rogue, which has been given a lot of other lineups trouble.
And specifically, when we did talk to Viper, he said that Roger is well known for playing these anti-control style of lineups. Think back to the lineup that Roger played at the championship he won. And he was playing this double Nerubian Unraveler in like every deck kind of lineup. And he won largely by punishing people's combo and control style lineups.
Okay.
Viper knew he was in his group. And he knew that he would have to beat Roger and didn't want to get a control deck farm. That's a big part of why he ended up in the lineup he did.
Yep. Well, we're going to go to a Summoner Mage Mirror. Roger does have some pretty greedy stuff. I mean, you saw Power Creation. He has 2 of them.
Yeah.
And a Hex Lord Malacras. I mean, these, again, are supposed to help him against the Warrior in the late stage of the game.
I do like me a Hex Lord Malacras, I can tell you that
yeah.
much. Not a Power Creation fan, but this matchup, though, Viper has his own somewhat unusual choices. He has the Arcane Keysmith, which we saw in that opening hand, which went back in the mulligan. Ooh, the Archmage Arugel is actually pretty nice in the mirror match because it doesn't really die quickly.
Yeah, this is a really nice heads-up tech here from Viper and Bunny Hopper. The Archmage Arugel is not easily answered and ends up becoming this threat that you don't really think about until like you start facing up against. It's like, oh, it's just going to draw a lot of value.
Here it is, Arugel here. And this mage deck, no spells, right? No cheap spells other than the Book of Specters. And now Viper's going to get a hit off of that most likely next turn. The only truly bad draw is Conjurer's Calling when it's in play,
right?
Because it's not Book, which you double the draws off of, and it's not a minion. You don't really want to Book on 3 because your hand's gonna be over full at that point from the Arugel. Just ping it.
Yeah, Viper's still looking to pick up his Mountain Giants.
Giant is certainly the best hit off the Arugel, and it will be Rabble Bouncer. I do appreciate the fact that these tournament accounts use all golden legendaries and non-golden normal cards. The legendaries look especially cool, but anytime there's a legendary that doubles something and you have mismatched cards, it drives me crazy.
Yeah, they did that specifically just to annoy you, Kibler.
I mean, they should either just make the decks, all gold or all ungold, or just ban cards that duplicate that are legendary. So that you can't have mismatched
So
cards.
that you can feel more comfortable watching and casting the game.
Exactly. If I have to stare at this mismatched Rabble Bouncer, ooh, I'm going to lose my mind.
All right, well, you can look the other way for a few turns, or actually for quite some turns, because it doesn't seem like these Rabble Bouncers will be played anytime soon.
All right, I'm going to close my eyes. You cast by yourself.
Power Creation is an option here. Frost Nova is a pretty interesting choice as well, because this game can end up turning into a tempo war. And when I say tempo, it can also just turn into a race. Like you could develop something for really cheap with a Conjurer's Calling, and then Frost Nova to push damage.
Oh, that was a Fire Tree Witch Doctor, I can tell. Oh,
that's a Conjurer's Calling.
I heard. I could probably tell that just because the crowd reacted. They were very excited.
Oh, Kibler's actually closing his eyes. Wow,
I'm back now.
I thought you were just stating the obvious.
Oh no! I was closing. I don't want to see those Rabble Bouncers. They're hideous, mismatched. Ugh.
Viper squeezing a little bit of damage. The first Mountain Giant is going to come in.
Yeah,
There's no Voodoo Doll.
Giant Calling. Interestingly, Roger is choosing to play 2 copies of those Unseen Saboteurs. That is a big part of his lineup's plan to beat Warrior. There's Book of Specters.
No Voodoo Doll to answer.
But yeah, Viper does have 2 copies of Voodoo Doll, but does not have access to them here.
This is looking dicey.
It is. Yeah, and the Mage Mirror match very much about who can stick these huge tempo plays. The Mountain Giant plus Conjurer's Calling, obviously super strong. And there's Khadgar in the hand, too.
Book of Specters. I think he's trying to go for his own Giant here. Conjurer's Calling is thrown away. Crowd is loving it.
I wonder who they're cheering for.
Can't tell. Viper has no choice but to throw on something on the board to grab a little bit of tempo back.
Yeah.
Mind Control Tech seems to be his best course unless he wants to freeze the Giant, but that won't do anything in the face of Conjurer's Calling. And he also just saw his opponent play Fire Tree Witch Doctor, so there's additional chance that Conjurer's Calling is in the opening hand here. He saw that 2 cards were kept. It was Mountain Giant and the card to the right of it. And if he's hand tracking, he knows that there's a strong possibility of that.
All right.
This is actually fairly smart by Viper. He's playing the Kagdark knowing that Roger wants to Conjurer's Calling, so he's going to want to trade into that instead.
Yeah, I can tank 8 damage with the Khadgar here.
But Roger can just go big on the board. He's playing into Mind Control Tech at that point, but does that really matter?
I mean, he could get... the interesting thing is that Viper does have MC Tech plus Frost Nova available as well.
Oh, you're right. Oh, you're right. So he actually can't extend too far. He also had Rebel Bouncer and Mind Control Tech too. So even if it wasn't just a Frost Nova, he could stall a little bit. Roger definitely hesitating, not just immediately snap calling this Conjurer's Calling.
Not going to take the bait. He's taking it slow.
Wow.
It's interesting.
I mean, and it's
the crowd loves it.
I mean, it's the right call to play around what Viper would have on the backswing, and he recognizes that Viper was pushing damage aggressively.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a spell discovered by the Fire Tree Witch Doctor. If Viper went for a tempo swing, Roger could have easily stepped into a huge trap.
Yeah, and having used his coin here, Viper only has access to 6 mana. That means he cannot crowd roaster this Giant.
Right.
He could at best
Scale
kill it. But there are no Scale Worms.
Oh, you're right.
Viper is playing the non-Scale Worm version of the deck. He is playing the Arcane Keysmiths. He does have Voodoo Dolls, so that was a possibility of his Giant getting dulled down and not having the opportunity with the Conjurer's Calling anymore.
Yeah, it's a great spot. So then, what is Viper's best course of action in this spot? It feels like the pressure of Conjurer's Calling is very hard to overcome. Maybe he plays a Rabble Bouncer, but then he reveals to Roger what he drew off the Archmage Rugal. Maybe it's Arcane Keysmith?
I mean, Keysmith opens the possibility of like getting a Spellbender or something of that sort. This does at least prevent a attack into a Conjurer's Calling. In part, I think that Viper may just need to hope there isn't the big swing here. But there it is.
Oh man, here we go. You ready for some fireworks?
All right. Well, what's in the box? Grave Horror, and Double Giant.
Rabble Bouncers will be really cheap, but Viper can't deal with all of these threats, and most importantly, he's going to have the attacker's initiative.
Well, yeah, I mean, there are 2 Mind Control Techs here, to be fair.
Right,
so,
and there's also a Frost Nova.
Yeah. So Viper can play Mind Control Tech, play double Rabble Bouncer for 0. No, you can't do that. Never mind. You have to play Rabble Bouncer. You have to play 1 Rabble Bouncer into Mind Control Tech into Frost Nova.
Yes. And ideally steal, most likely the Mountain Giant so we can get the good trade first. And then Roger on the back end.
I mean, he has Power of Creation, so he could reload his board. That Khadgar's not going anywhere.
Right, or even just Conjurer's Calling again.
Although the Power of Creation doesn't do very much if your board is largely full.
I wonder.
I don't think Viper has much of a choice. He has to cast Frost Nova this turn.
Yeah. Otherwise, he'll be dead.
Right.
He'll be very, very dead. He could try to, like, double MC Tech. If he double MC Techs, it still doesn't work.
Yeah, I think that's still too dicey.
Right.
The Frost Nova was picked for this very reason.
The arena is full. Mind Control Tech takes a Grave Horror. Frost Nova will at least slow the bleeding.
Right. But now that Mind Control Tech has revealed its head, Rogers picks up another Conjurer's Calling. It's a little overkill, honestly.
Yeah, that's not really what he's looking for here.
So I think if he Conjurer's Calling, he's maybe just trying to go for taunts. But he can't die on the backswing because he does have 8 life in the way, and I think that's not enough for Roger to deal, unless he Mind Control Techs and steals the other Grave
MC
Horror.
Tech taking the other Grave Horror would still not allow for lethal. There'll be 15, 16 with hero power.
All right, he's going for it. Oh, Grave Horrors again.
All right.
And in a way, I wonder if that's not what Roger wanted, because that gives Viper more things to steal. That way it has taunt to stop the pressure.
Yeah, I mean, there's another Rabble Bounce that can come down now, plus a MC tag. I mean, if Viper finds a Conjure's Calling himself...
Oh, this is cute.
Oh, he's going to ping so he can Conjure's Calling again to make one more guy.
Sure, just more taunts.
All right.
More big guys. Sure, why not? Chef Nomi Priest, eat your heart out.
Yeah, that's a board. Well.
Dude, I love Summoner Mage mirrors. Wow.
There's some crazy nonsense that goes on.
Nonsense is very discreet. Mind control tech, by the way.
He's got to attack and then play the MC tech. He's doing this, yeah.
It'd be hilarious if he stole the Khadgar from this position. It's like the one minion he doesn't want to take.
Well, we got walls and walls and walls here.
Yeah.
Oh, if he...
I think he was hoping for a splitting image.
Right. Well, it wouldn't trigger if his board is full.
I think he'll trade into Dragon Ball Scorcher if he found
yeah.
it. In this case, maybe a counterspell? He knows that there's another Conjure's Calling.
Right.
Or Spellbender.
Spellbender doesn't work if his own board is full, though.
Oh, you're right. So it's counterspell.
Yep. So now Roger's got to sniff out what this might be.
Yeah, everything looks pretty clean from here. Just the sevens lines up
pretty
nicely. Sevens across the board. And all of a sudden, this board tension is starting to release with Roger vastly in favor. No splitting image. It was good sequencing for Roger to play around that. Has to account for the secrets first as well. If he plays Messenger Raven, he's accounting for Mirror Entity. This is a test for Counterspell.
Yep. Or Spellbender is countered.
Yep.
If that actually had been Spellbender, would Khadgar give Viper a bunch of extra small minions? I don't actually know.
I'll have to double check. I've never had Spellbender put it to me because I don't really see Arcane Cusp in the mirror, you know?
I don't know the answer to that.
Oh, wow.
I do know the answer to who is going to win this game, though, and the crowd sounds like they do, too, as...
Astromancer for one last Hail Mary attempt. Okay.
And there it is. Roger takes game 2. The crowd loves it. Evens up the series.
Oh, yeah. Now it's starting to sound like a World Championship kill. I think the crowd has been waiting for it patiently all day long. As some people have been here for over 12 hours.
Yeah.
Getting ready to see Roger play. That's how committed they are to see their hometown hero. But this is an important match for him to win. And this is actually something that Viper was talking about. He said if there's one deck that he's not sure if he could guarantee get like good matches across the board, it's his Summoner Mage.
Sure. I feel like his Summoner Mage ought to be good against the Paladin too, but maybe sort of it does need very particular draws. It's entirely possible for Roger's Paladin to, you know, have the early game it needs, and for Viper not to find Book of Specters, not to find Mountain Giant, just kind of be a dopey mid-range deck, and the Paladin deck can go farther than that.
All right, well, the crowd is lending Roger their energy. In the meantime, while we get ready for game number 3, we'll find out what happens when we return to the Hearthstone World Championship.
大家好，我是罗成元，然后我在游戏里面的名字叫罗杰。因为最近尤其是剪完头发去剪头发是因为想说，因为夏天也快到了，然后想说让自己整个人清爽一点，看可不可以那个到时候比赛的时候也那个不要看起来那么快睡着的感觉，对。因为其实我蛮预想到，就是因为我知道大家基本上16个人，就可能每个人都会带盗贼，然后刚好我想要就是去做一些战术上我用不到这个盗贼，所以我就很确定我很有可能就是那个唯一没有带盗贼的人，然后我又带了一个很奇怪的圣骑士，就 就会变成这样。我想说，好吧，打开来后发现，我的牌的确跟人家长得差蛮多的。对，我就觉得也还行，因为跟我预期的差不多。就是我想要去打的东西，他们都有存在。但接下来就是看我能不能去实行这个计划。我就觉得很开心，然后那个就是世界赛也有那个嘛，就是也有一个台湾选手的位置，然后我觉得很棒。如果除了我之外不会是，有可能那就看好陈泰啊，对啊，因为如果我没有赢，那就希望是会他赢啊，对啊。就是这次那个嘛，跟上次说的话应该是差不多，就是如果你天选之人投我的话，我会尽量帮你拿最多的卡包。
I mean, I was pretty happy about just making it to 2 out of 3 championships in general, so that was like really good. Making top 4 to be the first player ever to qualify twice for Worlds in the same year would have been amazing. So I was pretty sad and disappointed after not making that. But in general, I cannot be too sad about making 2 out of 3 championships. I think Bunny and me, we kind of did a good job with that. We just didn't bring something that's going to lose us everything, but we also didn't end up with some, I don't know, super surprise picks. So I don't know, I felt like just bringing on average really good decks is going to be the better way in a new format. Playoffs was it wasn't like a stale format because we had nerfs and changes, but it was kind of a figured out format. Everyone knew, okay, those are the decks and that's what everyone was going to bring. And at this event, it was really different. Like everyone was going to play Rogue, almost everyone was going to play Warrior, and we expected most people to bring Hunter. Like that was the expected field. And I promised a friend I'm going to buy her a dog when I win.
Do you know what type of dog?
Corgi.
You were going to buy your friend a corgi?
Yeah. I'm super happy when I get a support back from fans and they really love those decks, and then people try it out, and then I get messages of, I got Legend with this, or I got to Ring 5, I'm having fun. It's always great to have these responses, so I'm pretty happy about community and my fans. So like a lot of shout outs to Kamari, to Casey, to Vira, to Barney Hopper, to like Deutsche Soccer Guild, all my friends that keep backing me up. Yeah, I'm super grateful for them.
Welcome back, everyone, to game number 3 here between Roger and Viper. There's only one spot left in the quarterfinals on Championship Sunday, where we'll be giving out up to $250,000 in prizes for the first place winner and the crown as the world champion. Now, circling back into this series, Roger still has question marks over his Paladin, but that Summoner Mage mirror was definitely explosive. Maybe Roger can get some momentum off of that going to game number 3.
Yeah, and if anything, I think the cheering from the crowd has to be putting some pressure on both these players. And Roger is obviously the one who will have the momentum behind him from them, but Viper with the Book of Spectre's Mountain Giant opening hand, looking to kick this game off pretty quickly as well.
Yeah, Bomb Warrior up against the Summoner Mage. The Bomb Warrior does not have as much removal as the Control Warrior, therefore things like Execute on the Mountain Giant is going to be problematic. And Viper, assuming he hits on the Book of Spectres whatsoever, will be able to even play as soon as turn 3.
Yeah, the going second with Book Mountain Giant is just really powerful. As long as you don't hit a spell.
Right.
And crucially, Roger did build this this warrior deck with the crowd we hear. No,
that's really bad news.
I was gonna say that Roger, did build this warrior deck with other warriors in mind. It did not serve him quite as well as he needed it to in his match against Bloody Face.
Fast plays.
Warrior
here.
in general has shown to be sort of prey of this Summoner Mage deck, as it just puts out so many threats. And I'm not sure that the bombs that Roger's going to shuffle into his deck, unless they just all float to the top 6 times in the first handful of turns of the game, is really going to get the job done.
Yep. Roger does have Brawl, so
yes.
If the Conjurer's Calling gets out of control, let's say Viper picks up the Conjurer's Calling and he coins it out. That's usually just game, but Roger does have that brawl to answer at least the first wave.
All right, bomb number 1, bomb number 2, thanks to the Elec going in the deck. There's another giant.
And then for Viper's perspective, he does have to figure out if he wants to trade here in some capacity, because yes, you know, going face with Mountain Giant often is how you win, just play another Mountain Giant, but in this case, it's not exactly as clear as you might think.
Yeah, and you know, also whether Viper just wants to play the second giant isn't necessarily clear, because the giants are so important alongside Conjurer's Calling.
That's true.
To give you, you know, high impact minions that you can use the calling on and guarantee high impact minions. You know, he may just want to play Twilight Drake here as another very difficult to remove threat and just kind of play a little bit of board control. I imagine there's a decent chance he may want to kill the Elec simply because one of the ways this could go terribly wrong is just a bunch of bombs going to his deck.
Oh,
all right,
boy.
giant, going to the face.
And now Roger knows
okay,
he has a
well,
50% chance to steal away the momentum. The crowd wants him to do it.
I mean, this is the Gurubashi Arena right here. We saw all those Rastakhan's Rumble promos, the crowd going wild. And here it is. Who will win the brawl?
Kibler. 2 giants have left. And only 1 Elephant Boy survives.
Who wins in a fight? 2 giants or 1 amalgamate? No, it's not amalgamated. I forget his name. Augmented, he's literally right there. Augmented Boy. All right, and that was big. That was really big, and that was part of why I thought.
Oh my gosh! Wait, he has Blastmaster Boom. He's gonna be able to win back tempo.
That was part of why I thought Viper might want to hold back, not just commit the second giant, commit the Drake last turn, because by doing so, he puts himself in a position where he has the possibility to play giant into calling if he draws it. Now he's that brawl obviously was huge, and Roger, he had a 50-50 in part because Viper chose to go face. If Viper had cleared off a minion, he improved the chances of one of his minions surviving brawl as well.
Right. He did, by going face, he did shut off things like Shield Slam being a way for him to help get back on the board.
It's also worth noting that's the 1 brawl in Roger's deck.
Really?
There's only a single copy.
Oh my gosh.
So
this guy likes to play on the edge of his seat. And a water bottle in hand.
Yeah.
Stay hydrated.
What to do?
Are you hydration bot?
Viper, I'm trying to think about his best play here. His best play for tempo is the coin Astromancer. Astromancer has a 9-mana minion or 8-mana minion. Like at this point, it's his best power play to fight right back.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. Astromancer's coming out.
There's a lot of high impact minions.
8-mana minion. Tyrion!
Oh!
And Roger just played Harrison Joe.
He just played Harrison.
You see a little laugh from Roger there.
Hey, I mean, I think it's tit for tat.
Wow. This game has all the swings back and forth.
Blastmaster Boom with 2 bombs?
There are 2 bombs in the deck.
So the Boom bots can make some pretty big impact here. Wait a second. If Roger plays Blastmaster Boom, Viper has lethal. If you attack with the 15 damage, Voodoo Doll and kill your own Tyrion, you can swing with the Ashbringer.
He does.
And Roger knows this. So he's like, do I really have to play off curve? And if he does want to survive, yes.
What now?
You know when I was like, there's some pretty good minions at 8 mana?
Yeah.
That's one of the best ones.
He could have gotten Hyreek. Would have been a little bit worse.
Yeah. Just by a margin. I think, Roger, it's time for him to gut check here. Oh, yeah. He goes for it.
All right.
The crowd is silent. They're hoping Viper doesn't see it, but I don't think Viper is.
I think he does.
I think he's too good of a player to miss this.
15 damage on the board. He's looking.
Oh, he's not acting immediately, Kibler. I don't think he sees it. He doesn't see it.
He may not.
No, he sees it. He sees it. Come on. Come on, Viper.
Yeah.
Okay, so the idea is that Voodoo Doll. Okay, he's hovering
hovered over it, I think.
Oh, he gets it. All right, he knows.
Is it enemy minion? No.
It's any minion whatsoever.
I think he may be confirming this.
Wait, is it enemy minion? You might be right. You're having me questioning it.
I think he is confirming. No, you can. Yeah, you can choose any minion. Okay. And there it is.
Right. That mountain giant
makes his final sacrifice, and Ashbeer comes in despite the brawl going Roger's way and killing both of his giants. Viper takes game 3 and is 1 game away from sending the hometown hero, well, home.
And he has to take down one of the best classes in Hearthstone right now. Rogue has been on a tear on ladder and has kind of been a menace in the tournament, for better or for worse. And the thing is, Roger said that he was also preparing to ban Rogue, and yet he banned Zoo Warlock in this matchup, which is interesting to say the least.
I feel like, in particular, the Rogue deck is, I mean, frankly, almost all of Viper's decks are really bad for Roger's Paladin. Roger's Paladin, we've seen it beat a couple Rogues before. It beat Tyler's Rogue. But a big part of that was Tyler's Rogue did not play any Saps. And as we said before, Roger's deck really needs to put minions in the way to defend itself, and Sap really prevents that from being possible.
All right, well, game number 4 will be underway momentarily when we come back to the Hearthstone World Championship. Viper is 1 game away from sending the hometown hero, Roger, back home.
大家好，我是罗杰，然后我来自亚太区，在玩一些类似游戏王的纸牌游戏，然后后来接触之后，我发现，自己玩得不错，然后就一直慢慢玩，时间久而久之就到现在这样了，对，也没有说特别什么。就其实我一开始玩炉石是因为那个朋友介绍，然后我小时候其实就对我自己来说，我觉得跟朋友一起玩炉石这件事情是很重要。然后因为我们可以互相讨论，然后我们也可以互相进步，每次的比赛就可以一起作战，我觉得这也是可以一直往下走的很大的关键。我想就是因为我这个比赛其实就是不光我自己准备，还有我一些朋友，我希望因为他们也有一起努力过这个比赛，然后我希望我可以把他们的那份也一起努力起来。就是其实有那么多人支持我玩游戏的风格，我觉得是不会，就知道自己有那么多人支持我，然后我会更加努力，然后更希望能发挥好自己的实力，然后拿到好成绩。我觉得就是也没有说想要借由这个比赛来证明自己，因为我觉得就算赢或者是输，就是也没有办法就让大家有别的就是其他的改变，但我觉得。就是我希望我能发挥我最好的实力，然后这样我觉得就已经很足够了。
Some people just go by, okay, it's a mathematical problem. There's always one answer that's the right answer, the right call, the right decks. But figuring it out is not easy. And I'm probably one of the guys that wants to do something different, not just go with everyone expects. Try to counter, try to beat what people bring.
Viper takes it 3-2.
A lot of people made like those statistics about who's gonna make it out of groups, who's gonna win and so on. And they just took HSV play, stats and decks and whatsoever, but playing control decks like Mage, Shadowbox Shaman and so on, if you play them well and you face the matchups you wanna face, they are like way better compared to the statistics you're just gonna get by looking at ladder. I cannot bring the same stuff as everyone else and then expect to win. I have to do something different to overcome them.
Viper up 2-1, ready to send Roger home and packing as he is trying to calm himself down in preparation for a top 8 spot. Roger trying to see if he can support the hometown hero crusade as Blood Trail previously at the beginning of the day fell to Xiao Ti and is the lone Taiwanese player remaining. And in fact, I believe he's the last APAC player remaining as Tyler, the points leader for the region, was eliminated by Viper. Viper's going for the double kill here.
Yeah, and this is, as we've mentioned a number of times, very much an uphill battle for Roger. Not only is he down 2-1, Not only is he going up against Rogue, which is one of the strongest classes in the current metagame, but his particular lineup is very vulnerable to this deck.
Yes, Miracle Rogue, a deck that I thought Roger was going to ban, but perhaps he was specifically talking about Pirate or Tempo Rogue of some kind. Instead, going to go to Warrior. Warrior against Rogue is generally a good matchup for the Warrior.
Well,
that being said, I mean, these are a lot of differences in the normal stuff that you see.
Yeah, the normal matchup for Warrior against Rogue is typically, you're thinking Control Warrior against Tempo Rogue. This is Bomb Warrior and sort of Bomb Control-ish Warrior because Roger's lineup is built to beat other Warriors, so it even has Elysiana and Baleful Banker despite being a Bomb Warrior deck.
Right.
Whereas Viper, with this Miracle Rogue deck, he has a lot of tools to play a very long game. He even includes a copy of Togwaggle Scheme, which can be used in combination with Togwaggle himself to put a bunch of extra Togwaggles in your deck and Wondrous Wand them out and keep playing Togwaggles and do all kinds of craziness that makes it very hard for your opponent to ever run you out of resources. Roger with a full heap.
Yep, Viper choosing the good old strategy, keep the Auctioneer. Perhaps the memory of killing all day fresh in his mind.
Yeah. And Roger, he can possibly just coin out an Elec into a Clockwork Gnome here if he wants. Try to go with the Tempo plan.
This hand looks like a 2014 Hearthstone hand.
This hand,
2015.
How many World Championships has this hand won?
At least 2?
I think it's just 2.
Because the third one from Tom.
There were no fans. Or no, there were no
Auctioneer and
auctioneers.
Tempo Rogue for Tom 60229.
Or fans.
Yep. And I believe Osaka may have played Sprint in his Oil Rogue.
Yes.
Augmented Alec, getting that extra shuffling, and Viper, a little bit of pressure, still awkward draws. This is the punishment, I guess, for not having that coin to smooth out the curve, and more importantly, Viper having that Gadget Stand keep, which did not pay off.
Yep. Fan will take out the Elec, at least finds a Shadow Step, not good now.
Yeah. At the same time, Roger comes up on a slightly awkward turn.
Yeah, he did use his coin, and his only 4-drop is that Militia Commander with no minions on Viper's side of the board.
Yeah, I think he was anticipating Viper to play something by 4 mana.
Viper's draw is too bad for Roger's draw to be good.
He played right into my terrible draw.
Yes.
But Roger's power spikes on 5 onward is going to be very substantial. And also, one thing to note is that any chip damage Roger can get in is going to be pretty scary for Viper because he is a deck that likes to draw cards.
Yes.
You know, Tempo Rogue does draw a lot, but they're kind of like a stop-go with their draw.
2-5, your turn. I like this from Roger. A lot of people might think, okay, well, this is a removal spell. I want to hold on to it. No. Roger is very much playing a tempo game and needs to kill Viper. And this is one of the reasons that this version of Warrior, not necessarily specifically Rogers, but Bomb Warrior, has been pretty popular among some of the players in this tournament because it can beat decks that are built to beat Control Warrior. A lot of decks that are built to beat Control Warrior, like Roger's own lineup, for instance, are less effective at dealing with the pressure that Bomb Warrior can put on.
This is going to be a pretty important turn here for Roger because Viper, I think he's going to go in with the Van Cleef soon.
And Roger's deck, you know, he does not have the executes we mentioned before. He has a single brawl. He has shield slams. Those are not great at dealing with an enemy that gets really, really big.
Yeah.
He will defend Gilneas, though.
6-5, pretty substantial.
Backstab both damaged minions.
Oh, it's not going to do anything against damage. Viper has Ethereal Conjure to start things off, but he has Ethereal Conjure sap Edwin of himself.
Yeah.
Although the sap is problematic against rush minions.
Right, doesn't do that much.
Roger's very resilient against this.
Will Lackey walk the plank, both damaged.
It's just taunting him, the fact that all these minions are damaged. Head crack and cannon barrage, very useless. I think Viper has only one legitimate choice in this situation. One thing he can do is Shadow Step this, play Van Cleef, Goblin Lackey again, have it rush and trade into Darius Crowley. Another Shadow Step.
Ooh. Preparation, too.
Prep is definitely an interesting one, especially if his opponent curves out to boom.
He has 2 auctioneers in hand, so preparation has to be at least kind of exciting.
Yeah,
the preparation also
so.
sets up prep into walk the plank if a big thing comes down next turn. It's a big Van Cleef.
It's a big Van Cleef. It's an 8/8. 10/10. Excuse me. I keep forgetting the Shadow Step minion played again.
Yeah. Now, you know, Roger was the one putting some pressure on. The pressure is on him. I think that's all of the rush minions, right? Both of the militia commanders. Yep, that's just a 1/2. Both the militia commanders have been played and drawn, or
Dude,
drawn at least.
This prep walk the plank is nutty. Are you serious?
Yeah. Backstab into prep walk the plank.
Dude, Viper's gonna make a big push.
Coming in for 10.
Edwin Van Cleef. Okay.
Bomb goes off. That's actually good for Viper, because Blastmaster Boom is one of the best ways that Roger could try and get back into this game.
Well, he needs to take down this Auctioneer as well.
There's a slam. So now both Auctioneer and Van Cleef are must kills, and Roger can only kill one of them right now. He has Zilliax. He could try to, say, slam the Auctioneer or kill it with his militia commander, just play a Zilliax.
If he doesn't kill this Auctioneer, I think he's guaranteed dead. If he doesn't kill the Van Cleef, there's like this weird chance where he might be able to find some like brawl or other removal tools. But again, because he has Shield Slam and not Execute, I really don't find that many ways for him to deal with this.
And we talked a little bit about how, you know, that opening hand from Viper, you know, could have been in multiple World Championship decks. Edwin Van Cleef has won every World Championship so far, and Roger is the last player standing in the way who can prevent that from being a absolute guarantee this year going into the top 8. It looks like Edwin himself may be defending that streak.
Roger has to make a decision very soon. Slam.
Finds brawl.
Are you serious? Here we go.
Another huge brawl for Roger.
The moment of truth. Oh, he kills the Van Cleef, but the Auctioneer survives. That's still really big.
Lives.
That's still really big.
Yeah.
Roger lives to fight on for at least another turn or two, but this is still going to be pretty strong.
Yeah, Lackey will get Shadow Steps, drawn their card. Questing Adventurer.
Oh, boy.
You thought Van Cleef was bad.
And it's going to start all over again.
As he's just going to Togwaggle scheme. Doesn't need the endless threat. Goblin Lackey, pump that up. Backstab, kill that Lackey. Get that Questing Adventurer going.
Jeez. The pressure is never ending. The Miracle Rogue. This is Viper's specialty deck.
You just brawled that board. This board is even worse for you, and you have no brawls left in your deck. Elysiana. This story deserves a new ending, not like this.
I think Roger might have to Omega Assembly here.
Yeah. Finds Spark Drill. Does that do anything?
It's removal tools.
He already has Militia Commander. He can't fit them both in. He does get a minion with Rush, right? That's a 6/6 Questing. So I think he can kill Questing with Spark Drill.
Spark Drill kill the Questing, but he's leaving up Auctioneer again.
Yeah.
But Viper's used a lot of his spells.
And
That's a
there it is. Viper takes down Roger 3-1. And Taiwan will not have an opportunity to win back-to-back World Championships as Roger's eliminated.
Viper also sends home the final remaining player from Asia Pacific, making it China to be the only region left defending the East.
Yeah, and Viper, he had very strong results throughout the year. We heard him talk about how strong it was, how much he was happy about just making 2 championships. He'd add to that top 8 finish at the World Championship. And look at the other player from Group D, Bloodyface, another 2-time championship competitor in this past year, also in the top 8, Bunny Hopper.
Yes, the year of the 2018 players.
This is just an incredible show of consistency by players who had such incredible runs throughout HCT in the 2018-2019 season.
That's right. So Roger Blood Trail and Tyler all eliminated. Asia Pacific is out. China has 2 players remaining in Jing and Yue Ying, but they face each other, which means only one of them go through. The rest of the spots all filled by Europe and Americas, and I think it's time that the West wants to seize it back. I think Tom's victory was great. It did a lot for this region and specifically for a lot of players that were inspired by him. But I think the West was like, it's time for us to win. I know Americas wants it. I know Europe really wants it bad too.
Yeah, and we have now our top 8. We have it all figured out who we'll be seeing playing tomorrow, Championship Sunday. We're going to be crowning a new Hearthstone World Champion.
That's right.
Tomorrow.
It's exciting. I mean, 3 days in, and we have 8 players remaining. We're going to do all of that recap as well as review day number 3 when we come back. The post show with Frodan and Brian Kibler is coming up next.